Coach Kimmagee's coming at you.
Woo woo!
Lesson number 2.
Lesson number 2, make sure you're awake. Get your honey buns all ready to go. If you fall asleep, go stand up in the back.
Get your clipboard. Get your clipboard. I'm not even going to say any names.
You know who you are if you're a clipboard friend who stands in the back sometimes. But at least you're not in dress code right now. You don't have to have your ID on, all that good stuff. But you do have to learn a little math. So, hopefully you're feeling good about day 1. Hopefully that was kind of a lot of review stuff that you guys saw. Today, about half of this is probably review again too. So today is still graphing inequalities. And our goal today is to graph linear equations using a table. Okay, so that might sound familiar if you remember how we used the table to do this. So go ahead, write down your goal here on the top of your notes. Again, you should be on the paper that says Graphing Inequalities Unit, Day 2 Notes. Your goal to graph linear equations using a table. So this is kind of a longer lesson with a lot of examples in it. I'm going to cut down just a little bit so that the video is not as long, and hopefully you guys will get the hang of it after just a couple. So go ahead, let's start with our warm-up here. So for our warm-up, remember when you see that word evaluate, think about we're like substituting or plugging in numbers. So this x equals 2, 2 is going to replace x. So we would say 2 parentheses plus 5, and then that 2 replaces in the parentheses there. And then you're just following your order of operations. So this is showing multiplication and addition. And if you remember from our PEMDAs, we want to do multiplication before addition. So we would get 4 plus 5 equals 9. All right, go ahead, pause your video for just a second. Try to figure out, let's just say the next 2. Do examples 2 and 3. Ready, go. Okay, so hopefully for number 2, when we evaluate here, we've got -3 parentheses plus 6. We plug in 3, multiply to get -9 plus 6, and -9 plus 6 should get us -3. Okay, and then number 3, 4 parentheses minus 5, substitute in -1. So when we multiply, we should get -4. Uh-oh, we're doing the weird thing. -4 minus 5, which ends up getting us -9. All right, so hopefully you're feeling good about those. We're going to be doing a lot of this today within our table stuff of just plugging in numbers and then figure out what their simplified answer is. Okay, so if you look down here for example number 1, so it's graph the following equations using a table. So y equals x plus 1. So if you remember, okay, sometimes the table will already be filled out for the x values that we want you to use. Sometimes if it's blank, then we're always going to use -1, 0, 1, and 2. So for this first one, it was already done for you. Okay? If you remember when we made a table, we took the expression part of our equation. Once it says y equals, we're going to use this part, the x plus 1, 4 different times. So we write it off to the side. Parentheses plus 1, parentheses plus 1, parentheses plus 1, parentheses plus 1, because we're using that same expression all 4 times. Okay, these are the numbers, remember, that are going inside those parentheses. We want to know what does this equal when x is -1. So we put -1, 0, 1, and 2 in those parentheses. Okay, and now if you want to use either your calculator or if you know your integers well, -1 plus 1, that gives us 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay? So if you remember, once we get our table filled out, we have just created 4 ordered pairs. Okay? So what we're going to do is graph those ordered pairs, and that's going to make us our line. So here's my ordered pair, -1, 0. And if you remember from lesson 1 that Miss Peters just did with you guys, our x value is always telling us left or right. Our y value is always telling us either up or down. So from our origin, we are going to go for -1, that's telling me to go left 1, and 0 says don't go up or down at all. So there's my first point. Okay? My next point, this one's kind of tricky. Anytime there's a 0 in your ordered pair, it's a little tricky if you remember that. But 0, 1 tells us don't go left or right at all, and then go up 1. So starting from the origin, don't go left or right, just go up 1. Here's my second point. Third point, 1, 2, right 1, up 2. And then my fourth point, 2, 3. So right 2, up 3. And then just like before, you got to connect and extend your points. And that's what it should look like. All right, now remember, if you had some funky number, like maybe you had a point here, a point here, a point here, and your line is going all zigzag crazy, it means you did something wrong with your table. Okay, so check your work in your table if that would happen. Your points should make a nice straight line for you. Okay? All right, hopefully you're feeling good about that one. Remember in your notes, the dots weren't connected, but they should be. Okay, so make sure in your own notes, go ahead and draw a line through those points to connect them. Okay? All right, let's go on to number 2. So number 2 says y equals -3x plus 4. Notice the table here starts off completely blank. So we have to be the ones that go in and say, okay, I'm going to use -1, 0, 1, and 2 for my x values. All right? We're going to take this expression and we're going to write that 4 times, each time putting parentheses in place for x. So -3 parentheses plus 4, -3 parentheses plus 4, -3 parentheses plus 4, -3 parentheses plus 4. Okay, it's pretty redundant, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to take our x values and now plug them in. So -1, 0, 1, and 2 goes in our parentheses. And now if you notice, all of these little expressions, it's kind of like what we just did in the warm-up problems, right? Multiply first and then add. So -3 times -1, that gives me +3, and +3 plus 4 is 7. All right, again, hopefully you have a calculator of some sort with you. If you haven't yet got your own and you want to try to loan one out from school, let us know. We can try to make that arrangement. But hopefully you have some way that you can just plug that whole thing in your calculator as long as you're careful with your parentheses and negatives. Okay? The next one, -3 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. -3 times 1 is -3, plus 4 is 1. And then -3 times 2 is -6, and -6 plus 4 is -2. All right, so there's our ordered pairs. -1, 7, 0, 4, 1, 1, and 2, -2. So we're going to go ahead and graph those on our coordinate plane here. So -1, 7, left 1, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, 4, don't go left or right at all, just go up, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, right 1, up 1, and then 2, -2, right 2, down 2. And again, they should make a nice straight line. And remember, connect and extend. Extend it all the way through, drawing those arrows on the end. Okay? All right, I want you guys to pause, and you guys try 3 and 4 on your own. See if you can fill out the table. Make sure you're showing all your work. Okay? And then connect your lines. Okay? All right, so looking at 3 and 4. We've got -1, 0, 1, and 2. If they don't give us our x values, that's what we're going to use. Okay, and then this is what we're going to put off to the side. So 2 parentheses plus 2, 2 parentheses plus 2, 2 parentheses plus 2, 2 parentheses plus 2. And fill in -1, 0, 1, and 2. So multiply and add, we get -2 plus 2, which is 0, 0 plus 2, which is 2, 2 plus 2, which is 4, and 4 plus 2, which is 6. So there's my 4 ordered pairs. -1, 0, 0, 2, 1, 4, and 2, 6. They do make a straight line, so that lets me know that I'm right. There's my line for number 3. Okay, last one of these that we're going to do for number 4. They don't give us x values, so we use -1, 0, 1, and 2. If you notice, it's pretty repetitive, so if you can get it down, you're kind of just always doing the same steps, all right? So this time, we're just having -4 times x. So -4 parentheses, -4 parentheses, -4 parentheses, -4 parentheses, and then plug in -1, 0, 1, and 2. So here we're just multiplying. We should get 4, 0, -4, and -8. So our 4 points, -1, 4, 0, 0, 2, -8. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. 2, -8, but I missed 1, -4. Right there. All right, so there's our 4 points. Boom, making our straight line. Okay, so hopefully you remember that was all kind of a review on making our tables given our linear equations. We're going to skip examples 5 and 6, but go to examples 7, 8, 9, and 10. And if you notice our little notes on there, this stuff is new, okay? We've talked about slope of vertical and horizontal lines, but we haven't really graphed them yet, all right? So here's a little note, and I don't think this is copied on here, so if you want to maybe write this down at the top of your paper, it says, note, if there is only one variable, the graph will be a horizontal or a vertical line, okay? So if it just says x equals some number, that is going to be a vertical line. And if it says y equals some number, that's going to be a horizontal line. And if you need a refresher, vertical is our straight up and down, horizontal is our straight across, okay? So this is kind of the new stuff here. We're still going to make a table, still make it pretty easy on you, but this may be stuff you haven't seen before, okay? So example 7, it says y equals 4. There's not any other variable. Notice the only variable I have is y. Y equals 4. So right away you're like, ding, ding, ding. This is going to be one of my special ones. It's either vertical or horizontal. And if you remember, we just said if it's y equals a number, we know that's going to be a horizontal line. Okay, so it's going to end up looking straight across. So here's what we do. Whatever variable is given, we're going to go to that side of our table and plug that number in all 4 times. So our y value will always be 4. Okay, so notice y equals 4, the y side of my table, all 4s. The other side of the table, this is really easy. You again just fill in -1, 0, 1, and 2. And now it's exactly like our other ones. We're going to plot our points, we're going to draw our line, extend it, and then we're done. So you guys are really going to like these because it's less work, and I know we love that. Okay? So -1, 4, left 1, up 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, and 2, 4. And if you look and notice, boom, when we connect and extend, there's our horizontal line straight across. Okay? That's all you got to do for these. All right, so if you look at number 8, notice for number 8, now I've got x equals -3. Again, kind of bells are going off, ding, ding, ding. Only one variable, only an x, there's no y. So only an x, it's going to be one of our special ones. And if it's x equals a number, this is going to be our vertical line straight up and down. Okay? So again, same thing. Whatever variable is there, that number goes in that side of your table. So all of my x's here are going to be -3. And then my other side, my y's for this time, that's where I plug in -1, 0, 1, and 2. So graphing my points, -3 tells me go left 3, down 1, left 3, not up or down, left 3, up 1, left 3, up 2. And if you connect and extend, boom, there's our vertical line. Okay, x equals -3. All right, last two here real quick. Examples 9 and 10. Y equals -5. That goes in my y column. So I got all -5s. And then your x column, fill in -1, 0, 1, and 2. Graph that. So -1 is left 1, -5 is down 5. 0, 5. So don't go left, or 0, -5. Don't go left or right at all. Just go down -5. 1, -5. And 2, -5. And there's our line. Ooh, kind of straight across. Okay, y equals -5 is our horizontal line. Alright, okay, last one. Stay with me. X equals 1 for number 10. Alright, there we go, sir. X equals 1 for number 10. Somehow I kept my stuff on there. Interesting. Alright. If it's x equals just a number, that goes in my x column. Boom, boom, boom. 1's in all those spots. Your y column, we fill in. -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then when we graph those points, remember, x is telling me left or right, so +1 would tell me right 1, and then -1 down 1, 1, comma 0, 1, comma 1, and 1, comma 2. And there's our vertical line. Okay? So we reviewed just basic table stuff that we had done before. Remember, if it's ones like examples 1 through 6, that's where you have to show your work off to the side because you're actually substituting in a number and doing some work. If it's these special ones where there's only one variable, that's where you just get to say, boom, plug that in for the one variable, pick your -1, 0, 1, and 2 on the other side, and then no matter what kind of table it is, any of these examples, we were given 4 ordered pairs, graph your ordered pairs, draw your line through it, extend it all the way, and then you're done, okay? So hopefully we're feeling okay about this section. Your homework is to do your inequalities unit day 2 homework. Okay, you've got 14 problems. For each of these, we need to see your table. Okay, so make sure you're setting up your little table. There should be room off to the side, but if you want to do it on another sheet of paper, that's fine too. Remember, especially these kind of go pretty quick, so don't freak out that there's 14 problems. But again, this will be due tomorrow by 10 a.m. Okay, make sure you have pictures sent to us. You can take a picture and email it, or upload it to Google Classroom, whatever's easiest. But make sure that's sent by 10 a.m. We'll check it over, and then we'll also send out the answer key to you guys so that you can check your own work and make sure that you're doing everything correctly and showing your work like we know that you love to do. Okay? Hope this goes well. If you have any questions, again, always make sure you can message us. No matter what's going on, let us know how you're feeling about it. And if you have any questions, we're here from you guys, okay? So hope you're having a great day. Stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll see you later.